Good evening. My name is Jonathan Tomlinson, and here's my discussion board on my flight plan from KCYS to KRAP. So here we'll start with the scenario. So we have my route, and so the trip, it's going to be a VFR trip night cross country from Cheyenne, KCYS to Rapid City, South Dakota, KRAP. It's 190 nautical miles straight line distance. It is in mountainous terrain, and there are some altitude concerns there. So the ceiling, I got this off of FAA FAST website, and they recommend ceiling at least 2,000 feet above all ridges and passes along the route. This will help reduce the exposure to the most hazardous turbulence in the most cases. The ceiling minimum should be increased as the wind speed increases. Alright, so here's your pilot, which is me. I'm a commercial pilot with a significant amount of cross-country experience. You have approximately 380 hours of total flight time with 125 hours of cross-country experience. I've been flying regularly but have never flown to South Dakota before. So this will be a new trip for me. So I'm going to obviously have to make sure I do a lot of pre-flight planning and area familiarization for this trip. So the aircraft that I'm going to be flying in this trip is going to be a Cessna 172 Sierra model with a G1000. It's a rental aircraft from the local flight school where I've continued my training, so most likely in this scenario I'd be familiar with that specific aircraft as well. It's up to date on its maintenance and recently had an oil change, so nothing to worry about on that side of things. And then also, like they said, it has the G1000, so it's a very capable model, and I am very experienced on the G1000 as well. So for my environment, I'm going to have to do the flight at night due to my friend's work schedule, but I don't mind since it'll be less hot and humid flying at night at the end of July. Sunsets at 8:30 p.m. and I plan to depart KCYS around 9 p.m. So it will definitely be, it's about 30 minutes after sunset there. So it'll definitely be nighttime. It'll be a waning crescent moon, so I have a picture of that over here as well, just to give you an idea if you're not familiar with what that looks like. So it's going to be a very dark night without that moonlight, and also with it being in mountainous terrain, typically there's not a lot of ambient lighting from cities and towns and things of that nature. And currently the weather is VFR at both locations. And from the FAA, the term night refers to the time period beginning 1 hour after sunset and ending 1 hour before sunrise. So with the sun setting at 8:30 and me planning to get underway at 9, will actually be about half an hour before sunset. So at around 9:30 will be official nighttime for my flight. So here's the current METARs for my two locations. KCYS, where my departure is going to be. Currently, it is winds out of 260 at 4 knots, 10 statute miles visibility, few clouds at 7,000 feet, and then few clouds at 10,000 feet. So slightly concerning there, just due to the fact this will be a VFR flight, and with the where the mountains are at in that area, my planned altitude is going to be higher than 7,000 feet. So just having to make sure I stay out of the clouds to keep the flight legal and not get myself into trouble there will definitely be something I have to look into. And my destination airport here is, they're both automated weather reports. This one's reading Winds 290 at 9 knots, 10 statute miles of visibility. Few clouds at 2,000 feet, scattered at 3,000. So again, with the altitudes that I have to stay at, and factoring in changing weather, it is slightly concerning there too to see, that. And here we have our terminal aerodrome forecast for my two locations, and as you can see here, there's not too much to worry about the departure destination. Everything on there, nothing seems to concern me too much. Like I said, just some of the cloud heights, but those I might be able to get around. It's more the destination airport here. You can see, so throughout, so from, let's see, 1720 Zulu is when this report was released. It's active from the 1800 Zulu, so for 24 hours it'll be active. And here it has from 1720 Zulu to, let's see, 02 to 08. We have thunderstorms in the vicinity, showers in the vicinity. These are all typical of, poor visibility, rapidly changing weather, turbulence, stuff like that. Things I don't want to really get caught up in, especially in mountainous terrain. So that's a big red flag to me, right there. And it seems to be pretty stagnant throughout. There's not really light of it getting better, or, the weather changing or anything like that. It seems like, definitely be poor weather at my destination airport, especially at nighttime. And I've never been to, this state before, let alone the airport. So to factor in things like the density, altitude out there, just not familiar with like flying in that direction. So big red flags there. And so for my external pressures, my best friend and I are going to Rapid City, South Dakota to see Mount Rushmore. It's been a bucket list item for us both for many years, and it's been a very anticipated trip all summer long. Alright, so due to the weather concerns that I had, also, it being, there's a few clouds low level throughout the trip, and then as we get closer to our destination airport, there's thunderstorms and showers in the vicinity, and that's what's predicted right now. That could obviously get worse, and I really don't want to find myself in a worsening situation while I'm at an area that I'm not familiar with, in a state that I've never flown in, and I'm in mountainous terrain. So all those factors added together. Unfortunately, the Mount Rushmore trip will, have to wait till maybe the next day or the next week. It's just not worth taking that chance. I also took into consideration the fact that I'll be flying a Cessna 172. It's a great aircraft. It's just, handling icing conditions, terrain, our flight in mountainous terrain, and turbulence, stuff like that. There's just a lot more capable aircraft out there, and I would possibly take this trip depending on, if I had access to a different aircraft that was more capable, maybe could fly at higher altitudes, handle turbulence better, stuff like that, maybe icing capabilities. All those factors were also taken into consideration here, and that's kind of how I came up with my answer. And here's my works cited. Thank you for watching.